Hi everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the Ultimate C++ tutorial. In this tutorial, we will learn C++ from scratch to advanced. Meanwhile, we will be starting from introduction to C++ and going towards the advanced concept of C++, like how to use pointers, array, switch cases, if and else statements, and how to use function in C++, how to use recursion, what is the scope, and how to use oops in C++. Also, we will be discussing the core functionality of C++ like data structures, vectors, lists, stack, and queues. And also we will explore many other topics like references and how the header files work in C++. So if tutorial is the first tutorial for you, if you have discovered this tutorial for you, then this is an added tutorial for you for the beginners to let's get started their C++ journey. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So first of all, we have to learn what is C++. C++ is a programming language. It is used to create computer programs and is one of the most used language in game development. C++ was developed as an extension of C, and both languages have almost the same syntax. So we can start C++ by clicking on this button. If we click on this button, it will redirect to our first screen, which is the introduction to C++. Don't worry, I will be trying out all the code necessary in this tutorial, and you will be learning a lots of concept of C++ while watching this video. So don't worry about learning all this stuff, because I will be covering all of the C++ concept in this ultimate C++ tutorial. So you can follow along with me and you will learn C++ completely by yourself. So let's do introduction to C++. What is C++? C++ is a closed cross-platform language that can be used to create highly performed applications. And who developed this program language? It is developed by Journey Tropes, an extension to C language. And what C++ gives to the programmers? It gives a high level of control over system resources and memories. The language was updated 5 major times: 2011, 2014, 2017, and 2020, and 2023 by the name of C++11, C++14, and C++17, and C++20. And now the version we are using is C++23. Why use C++? It is the most popular language in the world, and today's all the operating system is based on C++. And what C++ give us, it provide us a variety of concept like oops, and it is also provide lots of functionality to programming language to our computer to control our all the systems. So C++ is fun and easy to learn, and as C++ is close to C and C# and Java, it makes it easy for programmer to switch to C++ or vice versa. So, difference between C and C++. C++ was developed as an extension of C, and both languages have almost the same syntax. The main difference between C and C++ is the C++ support classes and object while C doesn't. So the C++ is also called C OOP, means the addition in C language is called C++. So get started. This tutorial will teach you the basic of C++. You will are finished with this tutorial, and you will able to write C++ and create real life examples. It is not necessary to have any prior programming experience. So let's get started. So click on next button. So C++ getting started. To start using C++, you need two things: a code editor. We are not using any code editor. We will be writing the code into our browser, so you don't have to have any code editor like VS Code, blogs, etc., because we are just writing inside our browser. So for starting, we will start with the code editor, online code editor, and we will move towards the code editor like VS Code and Visual Studio, and yeah, we will also use that things, and we will also use dev C++ for our C++ programming. So these are all of the stuffs are IDEs to write the code and to run our code. So first of all, what we have to do, we just have to click on the try it yourself button. So we will be able to go to this screen. So this screen is showing some C++ code where right hand side screen is displaying the text hello world, which is the result of this code syntax. However, don't worry about any stuff, any code you are seeing watching on this screen, because we will be discussing all the code on this screen, and we will be learning how to write more complex code than this one. So if we discuss this first line, so just think of that we will be using these two codes in our all the projects, because it is necessary to have to run our code perfectly. If we remove any one of from this, the code will show some error and it will not work, like it is showing the cout is not working. However, we will also discuss what is cout and how couts work. So hash include means including anything from the internet. So IOStream is a package which allows us to use C++ without having any trouble. So this line is just for that, to run our C++. This line is for this line is just for removing some repetition in our code. Like if we remove this code and if we try to run our code, it will show some errors. However, we can fix it out this error by writing here std and this. If we do that, that means our code will work. However, if we need more code like this, then we have to have this code again and again. So for removing this repetition of this particular code, we are using this line of code, which means that using namespace std. So we are declaring that every cout will be having the std, and the compiler will understand every cout will contain this code again and again whenever we use this syntax. So we know these two things are compulsory to run our C++ program. Now let's see what is it. And int man is a function which allow us to output any stuff we want to show on our screen. So if we use the man, it means that we are just doing some stuff in our C++ file. So whenever we call man, it means that we are working in real time. Meanwhile, the code inside this man function will be functional. Without this, if we do any code out of this, it will be showing error or it will be not working properly. So if you want to make your code to work, then you have to write the code inside these two brackets. So return 0 is not necessary for now, and we can remove it and it will still work. But we will be discussing all of this stuff step by step, so you don't have to overwhelm, and we will be discussing every stuff which is required to learn C++ from scratch to advanced level. So don't worry if any concept is not familiar for you and you are not understanding any stuff, because in the next coming up sections, few minutes, we will be discussing a lot of C++ concept and you will be understanding from there. So this is just an introduction to the coding and what is the C++ syntax, but we will be going to understand the whole stuff step by step in next sections. Like if we go towards the syntax section, the next section is the syntax section. Here we can understand our C++ language more clearly. So C++ syntax. What is syntax? Syntax is the method, syntax is the style, syntax is the way we write the code. So if we are using cout, if we are using this kind of coding, this is the syntax of C++. So every other programming language has a different syntax, but C++ has its unique syntax, like it have a name of cout, and other programming language will be uh, containing the code for cout is a print, and most of the programming language contain a code of print which will print the text on the screen. However, in C++, for printing our text, we use cout. And if we look on this code, and if we try to understand what is the code is displaying, what is the meaning of the code, then hash include isostream is a header file library that let us work with input and output objects, such as cout used in line 5. We have used cout here. Header files aid functionality to C++ programming. And the line 2 using namespace std means that we can use names for objects and variables from the standard library. So whenever we are using cout, that means we are defaultly having a std from in the front of cout, which means the cout is coming from a standard library. So don't worry if you don't understand how hash include, iostream, and using namespace std works. Just think of it as something that almost always appears in your program. Now let's discuss the line number 3. Blank line C++ ignore white space, but we use it to make the code more readable. So line number 4, another thing that always appear in a C++ program is a int man, that called a function. That is a function. Any code inside its curly brackets will execute. Cout, pronounced as cout, is an object used together with the insertion operators to output print text in our examples. It will output hello world, not. C++ is a case sensitive cout, and cout has a different meaning. Every C++ statement ends with a semicolon. The body of the int man could also have been written as int man cout include in one line. We can write it in one line. So the compiler ignores white spaces. However, multiple lines make the code more readable. Return 0 ends the main function. Do not forget to add the closing curly bracket to actually end the main function. So omitting namespaces. You might see some C++ program that runs without the standard namespace library. The using namespace line can be omitted and replaced with the std keywords followed by this double dot operator for some objects. Meanwhile, if we don't use the using name std, we have to include this std and double dot before this cout. It's up to you if you want to include the standard namespace library or not. So let's move toward the next inner topic, which is the statements. C++ statements. A computer program is a list of instructions to be executed by a computer. In a programming language, these programming instructions are called statements. The following statement instructs the compiler to print the text hello world to the screen. If we click on this, then this is just a statement which is giving instruction to our computer to print out the stuff on the screen. If we change any stuff here, like hey, hello, then this will be executed on our display screen. So meanwhile, every code is a statement which is for the computer to make the stuff which we want to which we want to have the output. Yeah, you can see anything for it, but the main thing is that every line of code is just a statement which is giving instruction to our computer to execute what we want. So it is important that you end the statement with a semicolon. With a semicolon, we have to put the semicolon after that. And if you forget the semicolon, an error will occur and the program will not run. So we have to put a semicolon after the completion of our any statement like cout. So many statements, the most C++ programs contain many statements. The statements are executed one by one in the same order as they are written. So these are two couts which are executed by step. If we put here, then both will be executed. You can see if we put this one on the top of this code, hello world, then this code will be run first and this will be run second. So our program will run from top to bottom and it will be executing all the code from top to bottom. So now, for example, from the example above, we have three statements. First is hello world, second is cout hello, have a good day, and the third one is return 0. The first statement is executed first, print hello world to the screen. Then the second statement is executed, print have a good day to the screen. And at last, the third statement is executed and the C++ program successfully. So you will learn more about statements while reading this tutorial. For now, just remember to always end them with a semicolon to avoid any errors. Coming up, the next chapter will teach you how to control the output and how to insert new lines to make it more readable. So stay tuned with me. I will be teaching lots of concepts here. So goodbye.